Hello world, WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of Resonance Rises. So I learned quite a few things about a few different spells and other things. By the way, many of you apparently have not known this. I am a Sith Lord. Yep, it's kind of awesome, kind of awesome. I don't know if I've shown you that before, but oh well. So I can summon lightning bolts, and the best part is, it works inside as well. Better keep that away from Greg Tech machines though, unless, ooh, that'd be a good way to blow up people's bases. Anyways, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about arcane beams and other things. So let's actually get into the bread and butter of this. So I've learned a few interesting things about the Archmage boots and their mechanics. So as you know, what it does is that you're able to, well, when you jump up and down, it procs. Procs is basically Ars Magica's way of saying that it activates whatever imbued effect that it has on the boots. However, a good mechanic of it is that it does not proc whenever you have flight on. So for instance, I have flight on. If I jump a bunch of times, it does not activate. However, when flight is off, it will activate every single time I jump, which, well, good if you're trying to stop a fall. So conceivably, I'd be able to put, say, a spell mix, a combined spell using that method we explored last time, or the time before that. I'd be able to combine flight and a bunch of other things, and thus it would not proc each and every time that I jump, which is a good thing, so that the buffs will constantly be on, but I won't have to continually use the mana. So without further ado, let's get into some machinery, which I'm really excited about. So, we're going to be going into a bit of Greg Tech machinery, more specifically some of the new Greg Tech stuff that he has, well, made. As you can see, I changed my chicken farm so that now it is over here, and I'll be able to get all the eggs that I need, and it'll be chunk loaded. Now, another thing I didn't check was if this stuff is still loaded in the chunks, or if I'm going to have to do something else. Apparently it's still in the chunk loading range, so it should be good for now. Ooh, I forgot that this continually procs. I don't know if there's any way to stop the proc effect of the legs. Maybe I'm gonna cast haste and see if the proccing effect stops. So haste is on. Let's get NEI up. We have 130. Let's run a bit. And it's still proc, so we are probably going to want a different type of spell on our leggings if we were to have a spell on our legs. Maybe an offensive one, but it has to be a channeled one because it continually casts. If it's channeled, it'll continually cast and we should be okay. So anyways, let's go into Greg Tech machines. One of the things that we're going to want is probably to have some good way to generate the stuff. However, one of the things I'd like to make is another diesel generator. However, it does require these plates, which as you can see requires a plate bending machine and has a max energy of 20 EU per tick in. Or rather, that's the amount it uses when it does that. Considering it's a 2-second operation, I think that is quite alright. So we should get our wrench because it is going to be useful for dismantling a few machines when we get to them, and we're going to want a better energy storage. A bat box does not really do anything of importance. Honestly, it's just pretty much taking up space. So let's figure out where we want to have our machines. I want to have, there's basically going to be 2 steps to whatever process I'm going to go. I'm going to want one set of machines that is going to be completely manually fed. So every single thing I do with it is going to be manual, therefore I don't have to worry about automation in that regard. So that will be nice and everything, however, that will probably take a bit of effort. So let's put a light there, let's put one up there. There we go, much better. Anything spawn? Nope, okay, so good. So I want to have something that's manually fed so that I'll be able to work on the other machines while I am getting everything sorted. I'm thinking all the manually fed stuff will be on this wall. So have a wall of machines that I'll be able to feed. Maybe have a bat box that I can monitor, though that is not as high of a priority as everything else. That being said, if the bat box is here, or a few bat boxes, and they're fed like that and feeding the machines, I should be good. So if we go into here, we'll have a nice little inlet for the machine. So first of all, we're going to want a plate bending machine. After we get the plate bending machine created, we'll be able to go into the other stuff. So it requires quite a bit. It requires some electronic circuits, it requires a conveyor module, and a few compressors. Compressors aren't too difficult. In fact, I'm not too sure if I actually have all the required ingredients. Do I have smooth stone? It's funny, smooth stone, one of those. Yes, I do have smooth stone. That's good. I'm sure, I think this will be enough to power it, honestly. Just that and this. And we also have a compressor, which we're probably going to want to steal. And good. Okay, so we got a compressor, we got a bat box, and we got a generator. One thing that we don't have is the wiring, so let's get a bunch of wiring. We also don't have refined iron. Refined iron obviously takes iron, so let's see about getting some iron. What I'd like to get into is some applied energistic wizardry. It's kind of different from the normal wizardry that I usually do in everyday Minecraft life. It basically is going to be able to store everything that I need. However, I do not... Oh, I do have iron. Derp! I probably need some more. Okay, let's go get a stack of refined iron. I think a stack is probably good enough. And we'll just cook it using our thermal expansion stuff. Now, how is our energy doing in thermal expansion? Oh, we definitely have enough. Probably enough to kickstart some sort of refinement process. That will be probably our ultimate goal for our energy, having a nice diesel, well, a few diesel generators powering everything that we need. So, if we have the wall here, we're going to need some power generation. Power generation I'd like to have on that wall, though that might just be decorative or have some other machines. Yeah, we'll leave that wall when we move these B machines to another place. And let's have the power generation grid over here. And that'll be good. Manually fed still, so we don't need to worry about that. Ah, stop that. Okay, so going into this wall slightly. Ah, why did I alternate it like that? I have no bloody clue. It's kind of odd. Okay, so let's put a light there, light here, make sure that we got enough, then go over and get our nice, lovely, lovely little copper going. Do we have any copper? We should have some copper. If not, we can fabricate it because we do have the technology. In fact, we're probably going to need to fabricate some more copper. This might be enough. Might be enough. Let's sort our inventory a bit. So, one thing that I'm doing is that I have this thing, the fabricator, set up so that it'll be able to fabricate different things that I want on site. Well, we got some nice little copper that we'll be able to fabricate, and I already made a bit of invar that someone gave me. The invar, the reason I have the invar is because, frankly, it's difficult to come across invar in this world, and it's, well, not impossible to do so. So automating it is something that we're going to want to have in a healthy quantity. So how many wires can we go? 48 seems good. I don't think rubber will be necessary for any other part of the situation, so this should be good enough, and also that will be good. And do we have any spare redstone? By God, of course we have spare redstone. It's kind of the only thing that we have. Okay, so also electrum would be lovely to have because it'll make the circuitry creation all that much better. So let's cook up some electrum. I believe it's some silver and some gold. Gold is easily renewable. However, the silver is not so much. Do we have any silver in any of our chests? I still need to get organized. You know, it's been how many days and I'm not organized? It's kind of embarrassing. I must have silver somewhere. Not only did I have silver, but I had a few other things. So let's just get a bit of this. I also had a bit more electrum, so that will be necessary for a bunch of witchcraft, wizardry, and awesomeness. And let's go, do we want to go with the regular wires, or can we jump right in to all the expensive wires? I think expensive wires might be a good idea since we do have enough diamonds to make it worthwhile. And most importantly, we have all the glass that we need. Yay! So let's go with fiber optics. I know it's not fiber optics. Fiber optics are signal based. This is, well, not signal based, but whatever, sue me. So 48 wires should be enough for energy transfer. Let's put some of those up here. So we'll be able to have this as a valuable chest, that as a valuable chest, and that as a production valuable chest. You can tell this is probably going to go south very, very quickly. And now that I think of it, a bat box may not be enough energy storage to start off right away. So we might as well upgrade it right now. So with that, we're going to need some gold cables, and we will need to get some rubber. So rubber, gold cables, some more redstone, and some diamonds since we don't have any rubies. Let's go with a stack of redstone. I said a stack of redstone, thank you. And put that back. Then we'll take our refined iron, which is here. First of all, make one of these. Second of all, we'll make the cables, which are like this and like this. No. Oh yeah, we're going to have to make some expensive cables that we can't really fabricate otherwise. Okay, we might as well make all of them into insulation, and this is already getting to be a nightmare for all of the packing and etc. So 1, 2, 3, 4 energy crystals. Dump all of that. Place our bat box unnecessarily because that's cool too. And let's see if we get this correctly. I think the wires would be here. We could always look up the recipe, though that's no fun. Like this, and like this. And of course, unless it changed, it's this instead. Good. MFE all the way. And where can we put all this? Might as well put this here. So this and bat box. I wonder where my bat box is. Huh. Who would have thunk it? Bat box is on the ground because you're a noob. Okay, so MFE, we're going to need a transformer as well. Transformer is honestly a lot easier to make. And which transformer do we need? We need high voltage to low voltage. So wood, copper, and, well, more wood. So that would be good. Just a bit of wood jacketing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There, low voltage transformer, and we can probably plug all of this stuff directly in. So first of all, let's place our generators here. We'll have one here and a wire going here. Then we'll have all of our machines here. However, we do need to have all the energy flowing. So all this will go into an MFE. Then we'll have a low voltage transformer. Might as well have it like that. And we'll need to wrench this into place so that it's facing the correct direction, which means that we'll need to shift right. Okay? And it is facing the right way because we have all 3 dots. Let's move that. And that should be good. And we got some MFE stuff. Okay. Now I think it naturally down transforms, so we don't need any sort of redstone signal. So this conceivably is all we need to do. All we need to do then is just power this with a bunch of charcoal. I think a stack will keep this nice and charged. And will there be any monitoring window that we can use? Probably not. That might not be a safe way to do things, though I like to have things inexplicably exposed. That being said, we won't be able to do anything with them. Wait a second, isn't there some sort of facade that works with all that? No, I think I'm gonna obfuscator? Obscure. Yes, there we go. Obscurator. I'm gonna have to look at how that works. That's probably what I want. I want to be able to put an MFE here and be able to hide it a lot better. Right now, it's currently going to be like that, which honestly is not as pretty as I'd want it to be, but it's not like we really need to see how much is in there. Let's just power it with all the charcoal and get our plate bending machine going. I believe we needed to make circuits, didn't we? Yes, we did. So let's gather the remaining electrum and might as well make all these circuits since we do have all that we need. Circuit, electronic circuit. Ah, okay, that changed for the assembly machine, and now this basic thing is slightly different. Okay, so this is the only way to use it with electrum and that. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. That actually does make sense. So we're not going to be able to use the cheap recipe right away. So let's go and use the uncheap, and as soon as we get the thing going, let's see, how many compressors do we need and how many circuitries do we need? Probably, one, two, fudge. Conveyor module is going to need 2. Then we're going to need 2 for the compressors and 2 to be safe. So that's probably all that we're going to need, so 6 circuits. And now we're going to need a whole bunch of refined iron. And how much refined iron do we have? 40, etc. And then we're going like this. So 2 of these. With 2 of these. And a bit of this. And we'll get our 2 compressors. Good. Now with the compressors, we're going to also need a conveyor module, which will require a bit of glass. Do we have any glass? Probably not. Therefore, we can get this going by just macerating. I know it's not macerating, but whatever. Getting a bit of glass via that interface. And that'll just take a bit of time. And in the meantime, we can probably check for glass in other parts of the world. And we shouldn't be too disappointed. Glass? Glass! Glass! No glass. So the next part that we're going to need to construct is the conveyor module, which thankfully we can use refined iron instead of having to use plates. I guess the plate recipe is just in case you made a bunch of plates and had no clue what to do with them. And we can only really make 1 of them right now. However, we do need to make some batteries first of all. So let's go with 3 batteries. I think 3 will be enough for now. And that's refined iron. I don't think that is exactly useful in this case. So let's go with 6 batteries then. Since we had no other choice, it just didn't leave any room for any other possibilities. So let's get 2 of these refined iron since we actually have the correct one. And now a bit of glass. And our inventory is killing us now. So finally, with conveyor module, we can go 2 compressors. We need pistons. Pistons are your friend. And honestly, I have always forgotten about the pistons. It's just not so friendshipable. Friendshipable, huh. Never knew that word really was a word. It isn't, that's why. So, let's make 6. 6, 6, 6, 6. Actually, we can just sort it. So, actually, that really works. So we can, instead of clearing our inventory, just sort our inventory, and that really makes all the difference. I should have been doing that before, and some experience is trying to pop in and say hello. I guess I should say hello to it in a second. Hello. Goodbye. Okay, so we got a plate bending machine. Now let's hook it up and finally get some plate. Fudge. What was that? Some ugly materials. Black granite cobblestone. Nope. Blue schist, or schneisel, or some other contrived thing. I don't know honestly what it is. Okay, so plate bending machine, activate. Activate. There we go. Now it's activated. Dun 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 dun. And what can we do by wrenching it? Does it give any option when we wrench it? Let's see. There's probably some sort of face. Yes, okay, so that denotes the output. So this is the output, or it might be the input for all I know. most likely the output and the input is everywhere else. So right click, I did it again. Okay, probably wasting energy by doing this repeatedly, but it's not like it matters. So now we have this, and let's go for another thing, which is going to need an assembly machine. Assembling machine, which requires aluminum plates or refined iron plates and a bunch of circuits. So we need 4 more circuits, another piston, we got the piston, and a conveyor module, which will require more circuits. Imagine that. So we're going to need a total of 6 more circuits. I think I can do that. Let's get this party started. Okay, so how many did we need? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be all that we need. Well, all that we need doesn't really characterize everything, but oh well. So electronic circuits will be required for our lovely little conveyor module, and we might as well make 2 of them, assuming that they stack. Let's not make 2 of them right now. We can worry about that later, and then we're going to finally need our plates. After, do we have any room whatsoever? Honest to goodness, we do not, because we are trying to cling on to the past, having every which thing about us that we do not necessarily need. I'm going to need to, you know what's probably the best thing to do? Probably just dump everything and only take the stuff that you need. That probably would be the best for everything that is all considered, but oh well. So let's make some refined iron plates. Just 3 of them in here, and it'll take like 5 seconds to go. Now there's a few upgrades that we can actually put to this as tin plates. Dang it. Let's see, what use do we have for tin plates? We can smelt them back to tin, which I might want to do. Mixed metal ingots. I suppose I could do mixed metal ingots at a later point in time, but oh well. Let's get 3 of these. Might as well. Did we put them all in? Yes, we did. And I'll just smelt this back up so we can get our tin back, or put them in some sort of other plate processing facility, because frankly I have no clue. At least we have more glass and more class. Not really more class, just more grass. Not really that useful for us at the moment, but oh well. So now this is taking a bit of time for it to work, for it to operate. Maybe there is some way to speed it up. We'll try speeding it up in a second, look for ways to do that, but let's first get this going. And let's see, 4 circuits? Yep, 4 circuits. Assembly machine! Okay, so now you just have to make sure that none of the outputs go next to each other. What's the natural output for this? Bottom? Hey. Hey. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. There is no actual natural back. Okay. Maybe the back. Maybe the back. Oh my god. Yep, the back. Okay, so if the output's naturally at the back, then we don't have as much cause for worry. And these buttons, I honestly have no idea what they are. Maybe if there was some sort of hover text, it'd be a lot better. So, now with this, we'll be able to make some circuits a lot more cheaply. We just need to make basic circuit boards, which require electrum plates and refined iron plates, or we could use aluminum plates, which frankly, oh, and that takes 40 seconds. That is unacceptable. So let's check overclockers. So overclockers should be the upgrading difference that we need. And 60k helium. Do we have any helium? Or any way to make helium? Industrial centrifuge with endstone. That makes helium. Might be what we want to get for our helium. Vacuum freezer, probably not going to be as useful. Helium plasma cell, probably not going to want to do that. Let's go with the coolant cell. Apparently that was coolant. So water capsules to get the coolant so it didn't change, and another circuit. And wires. Because can't have wires. Can't have wires? I think that's not what I meant to say. Coolant! And that didn't work out well. Okay, apparently because they cannot stack, you can't really do that. Okay, so cable we'll need to get in a second. Let's just get these in a sec. Okay, I didn't make that. Okay, that's good. Okay, overclocker upgrade. So with all GregTech machines, you're able to apply the overclocker upgrades directly. by right-clicking them. However, you do not get them back once you remove the machine, so you gotta be smart with them. So just use the overclocker upgrade. Let's see how that works. It's a lot faster. It definitely is a lot faster. It's not the fastest, however, it is a lot faster. Can I put these in at the same time? Or is it, yeah, it's just goes by priority, just outputting what it needs. So let's just make a few circuits by this method, and that should be simple enough. Now there might be different speeds. We might be able to, in fact, get more overclockers. 10 plates, again, you look too much like refined iron for my taste. Sigh, 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 sigh. What the heck am I going to do with these tin plates? Maybe make them into another thing? I don't know. Stupid, stupid, stupid. What I think I'm going to do is put a different chest. This is going to be a chest for all the plates that I managed to. Well, it's probably going to be all the plates that I screw up, so we don't need to worry too much about all that stuff. I need to move this to another bee facility. It is goddamn awful. Okay, so let's go here. Move the refined iron here. And make some of that circuitry. It's going to take a while for this to work. We're probably going to want to put a few overclockers on this thing as well to speed it up. But at least, well, let's put it this way. When we finally automate it, it's actually going to not really matter what we do with this. In fact, we're also going to need some circuitry. There are a lot of recipes for this. Wow. Didn't think there'd be this many. Wait a second. Pneumatic generator upgrades. Lets machines accept Minecraft jewels. So an iron gear and a generator allows that. Is there a way to... There's a high voltage transformer upgrade with a transformer upgrade. And there's a bunch of other things we can do. Rolling assembly machine to make rolling machines. That really honestly doesn't matter. Though that being said, it's probably... he probably changed the recipe. That sneaky devil. No, he didn't. Why the hell would you want to do that then? Oh no. Okay, let's see if there's anything else of note. Item transport valve. No clue. Now, another thing that would probably be a good idea would be to get a rolling machine so we can work with some other machines. Now, for industrial craft, it's not necessary. Sorry, Greg Tech. It's not necessary to have a rolling machine. Greg has been working on trying to make it not so vital to the integration of blah blah blah. So let's just first take this and put the rolling machine down. Now there's one thing that you can't make with it, and it's copper-nickel heating coils. So that's the only thing you can not make with it. Okay, let's actually get this in the correct format. Nickel. Now, actually, these aren't nickels, so that won't work. Copper-nickel heating coils will require nickel or what? Ferrous ingots. I don't have ferrous. Invar. Doesn't Invar make ferrous? Other people to the rescue! So, thankfully, Poppy did have some ferrous ingots that he had on store. So what I did was I just took 9 nuggets, crafted another one, and just gave the 9 nuggets back, and I now have an ability to make some ferrous metals, materials, and etc. What I want to do is possibly make some sort of giant room that has a bunch of these magic fabricators beside them so that I'd be able to just have a bunch of them at hand, so that I won't have to continually take out the nuggets, etc., 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 because that is just kind of sucky. So, what were we going to make with this? I think not a wire mill, because that's something else. So, apparently, overclockers, if popular fiction is so to be believed, what it does is it makes it so that it goes 2 times the speed, but also 4 times the energy consumption. So this will give 2 of them, will give 4 times the speed, but it'll be 16 times the energy consumption. I'll be able to handle that. So we're also going to want to, I believe this is how we make some rubber, and it's going a lot faster than it would otherwise, though it's going to be draining the energy at a considerable rate. At least we do have some energy backed up so that we'll be able to just have it very quickly. Now, when we get a bunch of diesel generators, probably mimicking something in my single player world, we'll be able to have this going at a much better rate. Maybe have some sort of automatic thing where we just plug in electrum, refine iron, rubber, and copper and have everything going like that. So the final machine that we're going to be using is getting that induction smelter, or is it an alloy smelter? Alloy smelter, yes. And I think this will make it more convenient for a bunch of alloys. However, we are going to, well, I'm going to make it anyways, so it's not like it's any skin off my back just creating it and finding it's useless. So let's go and open its interface and check the recipes. Not useful. We can make electrum using this. We can make electrum, more electrum. We can also make invar. And here's the thing, bronze. Bronze is definitely going to be a good use of this, just making bronze in any ways we can think of, and also brass. Brass also. Also brass, brass also. Did I say that many times? Probably did. So, and also brass. I said it again. Brass is used in a few other recipes, such as making a wire mill. And we are going to need a wire mill to more, well, correctly configure our stuff. I don't know even what I'm saying anymore. Dang. Come on, Way. Come on. So let's go make a bit more copper, and this is why we definitely need many, many, many fabricators to just get this going at a much more precarious rate. Yeah, precarious. And we also do have some zinc, I believe. Zinc. 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 Here we go. I don't know how I got the zinc before. Let's see. How do we get the zinc before? Probably an ore, or probably just got lucky. Wait, zinc ore in the nether? Or, I don't know. I don't even know how. I'll probably find that at another time, but yes, Falerite I could get it from, and a bunch of other ways. It doesn't really matter right now. It probably was removed, probably brought it from the other world, but let's smelt this stuff up and get that going. So that and zinc will give us some brass, and once we have the brass, we'll be able to plate bend them so that we can finally get into our wire mill, which is probably the last machine we're going to get for a while. Yay! Lots of fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Resonance Rises. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. I'm definitely going to move this for the next time, get it a dedicated room. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.